Last night in Cayos Cochinos. I guess last full day. Tyler, you sad? So sad.
That's alright, we're good. We're good.
So, this is our last full day in Cayos Cochinos. Then we're gonna head over to the Roatan. Do a little bit of scuba diving there. So last night, Exxon dropped us off and we originally had our hammocks up right there in those trees. But about 11 p.m. we both woke up and it was crazy windy. So we ended up going back into this little hut here. The little hut's not all it's chalked up to be. Let me show you what's inside. From the outside, it actually looks really cool and it looks like it would be like a really rad place to stay, but you come inside and it is pretty cool, but it's also kind of dirty. So there's bottles all over the place. There was a pair of shorts hanging from one of the posts up here. But 11 o'clock rolls around and it's super windy, so we had to do something, so we just sucked it up, put our hammocks up here. We each tied one to the post right there. Did the same thing on the other side, had our backpacks hanging, just made it work. So it actually worked out pretty well. We're actually super happy the hut was here so that we could use it. Got the trees there, caught the sun coming up. There's our little shanty hut. A few more trees, and then just beach. Beautiful out here. Teeny private little island, we'll see you later. Exxon, what's up?
Hey man, good morning.
Back to Chachahuate. Alright, so we are back on Chachahuate. First thing that I'm gonna do is change this shirt. I've been rocking this thing for like 2 days straight. Then I think we're gonna grab some breakfast. It's actually been like 3 days. This is the third day that I haven't showered. Whenever we get over to the Roatan, it's the first thing I'm gonna do. I'm actually pretty excited for a freshwater shower. I've just been jumping in the ocean up until now. Oh dude, breakfast. Started eating yet?
Baleadas, of course.
Baleadas in Honduras are like tacos in Mexico. Basically a staple food item. Right, Tyler?
They're delicious. I love them. There are all sorts of different kinds. This is a breakfast with beans, cheese, and egg. But you can put other different kinds of meats in there, and they're money.
One of the things I've been meaning to do this entire trip is kind of play around with the DJI Osmo Mobile 2. So I've been kind of putting it off just because I haven't had time. We've been running around, going to different islands, staying the night. But we're finally back on Chachahuate. I've got the Osmo 2. I've used it a little bit since being here. I found out some pretty cool features, but I actually wanted to kind of get a little bit more in depth with it. So I'm gonna play around with it a little bit here, mess with some of the features. I'll show you guys some of the cool stuff. And then I'm actually gonna do a review video, a full review video of it later on. So keep an eye out for that. But for now, let's just play around with the Osmo, see what kind of shots I can get with it. I use my iPhone primarily for like B-roll footage. So those are kind of the shots that you're gonna see with the Mobile 2. I'm gonna do some handheld stuff and I'm gonna do some shots with the actual gimbal. So let's see how they compare. One of the things that I am really curious about with the Osmo Mobile 2 is the active tracking. So I'm gonna actually pull Tyler out of his hammock for a second.
Yeah, man, just jamming some mix
because I need someone to hold it. So he's gonna hold the Osmo Mobile 2. It's got a sport mode, so I'm curious about that. I'm curious to see how that works. But what active tracking does is whoever is in the picture, whoever's in the frame as the subject, it'll actually track them as they move throughout the frame. So you hold the Osmo Mobile 2 steady, and the camera just automatically pans and follows that person. Let's try it out. I did also use the gimbal when we were in the jungle with Exxon looking for the snakes. So if you remember, we were walking through the jungle up that river looking for some of those boas, and I used it a little bit there too. I was still really impressed with it. So that was a little bit more hiking style, so as we were hiking, it was still keeping up. As I would step up, it would adjust and kind of keep the camera steady. It's really nice, because then I can focus on hiking and doing my thing, not falling on my butt, and my shot stays steady. So I don't know exactly how that's gonna look just yet. I haven't put it onto my computer to edit it. However, I do still feel that even when I'm using the phone at the lower angles, it's easier to use it with the Osmo too, because I can keep it lower and I don't have to worry about it as much. All right, so we've seen a little bit of the Osmo in action. Being that it is our last night here on Chachawate, I wanted to show you guys a little bit around the island. So I'm gonna use the Osmo and we're gonna go around. I'm gonna show you a little bit of the island. Let's go. Alright guys, that is it for today. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. In the meantime, I'm gonna set up a time lapse of the sunset behind me here. So we're gonna send the drone up, set up a time lapse. Hope you enjoy. We'll see you around.